Well, yeah, I say we move on, talk some NBA. So, Maddie, why don't you give me that NBA sting?
Whoa, you're always
jump the ball.
He's heating up like a trending topic.
Okay. Another new sting that I don't hate. We've been through a lot.
now.
Don't play
Duane's
it.
first time in the podcast.
That's what I'm saying. See,
Don't play
the
it, Matt.
hospitality.
We've had some people that have asked me, they've pulled me aside after recording, what does NBA stand for?
National Basketball Association.
Now you know.
No, see, look, Duane's face. Duane's face is how I live on this podcast, okay? He just didn't even know what to say. He sat back and he realized he lost 5 seconds of
I had
his
to
life.
close my mouth.
I've
I
never
was
seen
like,
someone's light go out like that before.
Oh, man. You're lucky you didn't hear his tinny paging Bobby Webster.
Matt, what does WNBA stand for then?
WNBA?
Do you have a sting for
Now
that?
I
You're
gotta
dealing with the
assume
pro?
I gotta assume it's women's, right? No, but that's weird. Women's national basketball doesn't ring.
It doesn't ring.
Where's the sting for that?
So I refuse to do that sting.
Well said. Well said.
Okay.
Cool air ahead.
It's a beautiful hill to die on. I love that. It's a good view.
Matt, this is probably going to be another slightly easy one for you.
Oh,
so
you don't know who this is?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I do a little bit, but you know, I can't bluff. Tell me something I don't know about Nate Huffman.
Nate Huffman. Okay, well, I'll start off first by saying, do you know that like his nickname was
the Huffman.
Huff Daddy?
No, I really laughed at this. Shelbyville Sean Bradley.
What?
One more time?
Okay, that was a double echoed one because
so he's a Sean Bradley type player, but
Okay.
from the evil town
Of Shelbyville?
Yeah.
I love Simpsons, but that's
that
a
make-
reach.
Does that make any sense?
I don't know.
I got it at first, but still.
Hey, I didn't give him this nickname.
I feel like you did.
But I'm wondering.
You're getting real defensive.
Did he
right
give
now.
himself that nickname, or did someone give him that nickname?
Yeah, what's the story on that nickname?
Oh wow,
Matt?
he doesn't know. Come on. Do you know
Oh, I don't know.
Do you
that.
know?
Come on.
No, I just saw
asking
it.
questions.
I thought
Yeah,
did.
I'm just
My
asking.
God.
I expect some answers.
You know what? He had a very brief career in the NBA. He played mainly in Israel, and the Raptors noticed he's winning a lot of like Player of the Year awards and stuff over there. So they signed him to a contract. And do you remember something referred to by the media in Toronto as Nate Gate? Do you remember that?
No, don't look at me. He's asking you.
2000.
I keep looking around if anybody
No,
knows it.
I'm not familiar with Nate, but I'd love to hear about it.
Okay,
Though.
so 2002, 2003 is when they signed him. It was the only signing they did in the summer.
Okay.
And
Yeah, what's the Nate
they
Gate?
essentially let Keon Clark go because of they didn't want to go over the luxury tax.
Okay.
So they
So
signed
chose
this guy.
Nate over Keon,
They did,
Keon
yeah.
was a luxury.
and that was the end of the.
So pretty much, he only played 7 games for the Raptors. The Raptors terminated his contract by January, saying that he hid a knee injury from them when he signed the contract.
Okay.
And then
It's a
Nate
Shelbyville
Huffman,
thing coming in. I see.
yeah, it's clearly a Shelbyville
Shake harder,
thing to
boy.
do.
Shake outta.
He did sue the Raptors, and an arbitrator gave him the rest of his money.
Oh, wow.
He did, but yeah, it was like
But he didn't have a leg to stand on.
Hey,
Hey, how do you hide an injury from a team with a medical staff?
yeah.
That's,
I always
that's the
wondered
old.
that.
That's the old regime.
Well, they're saying yes. There used to be questionnaires. It was like, do you have any knee problems?
That's the
No.
No.
Why did you just laugh as you signed that? No reason.
What knee?
Yeah. Lied on the questionnaire.
Why are your eyes darting left to right?
Yeah.
Out of 10, how healthy would you describe yourself? 10. Thank you.
Do you smoke cannabis? No.
Weed? No, yes. Yeah, no.
We're in Canada, right? No, still no.
I have a question. How many more of these tell me more do I know? I love these. Do you have any more?
I've got one more. Yeah, every segment I've got one.
All right, cool.
And I've got one, Duane,
Uh-oh.
somewhat related to you, I would say.
Okay, all right.
I'll be able to explain it, though.
Wait, is there any more with the Shelbyville, what's his name?
Shelbyville Sean Bradley.
Wait, you went into him being a lawyer, so, yeah, you know.
The greatest part about that nickname, it's longer than his own name.
It is.
So it's not speeding up anything.
Yeah. It's not condensing. It's
No, it's By the time you finish saying it, he's already like scored. Someone scored on him. You know?
Yeah.
There it goes.
He has that nickname from putting it on the questionnaire.
Wow.
Do you have any nicknames and knee injuries? Yes and no. Two-parter.
That's it. That's all you need to know about Nate
Okay,
Huffman.
I think that's all we need to know. Cool. Yeah, I want to start the I want to start the NBA with this trade. I feel like it's officially kind of getting into trade season. I feel like the more desperate teams are going to start to make the trades first, whether that's an Eastern Conference team that didn't expect they'd be in the playoffs or whatever. Or Washington. But so there was obviously the trade that didn't go through because of the name Brooks. So
That's like
that's already insane.
those are professional people
Yes.
who make money.
So professional people, everyone's blaming each other, which is also
Lots
awesome.
of money.
I blame. No, they're both stupid. They're both no.
Yeah.
I think here Memphis is not stupid because that's sneaky, and that's a pretty smart way of doing it if you're trying to be sneaky.
Yeah.
But also like the Suns, like seriously, you're just gonna go on like no Dylan Brooks for sure. Like you're not gonna
Yeah.
look at a photo.
I think Nate
Contract
Huffman was the facilitator for this whole thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
trust me, I got this.
I got this.
Yeah,
man.
Shelbyville's involved somehow.
No, you have to all.
Yeah.
You try to
I know, I already-
nickname the nickname.
I already forgot. Like, what is it? Shelbyville Conman? What is it?
What? Are you here right now? Shelbyville Todd Valley.
Shelbyville Sean Bradley. It's like it starts off with alliteration, then it abandons halfway through, and it just ends on a Bradley.
Listen.
But back to this trade.
Yeah. Back to the trade. So there's obviously the big disaster trade, and weird stuff I guess does happen. I remember when the Raptors, tried to sign Matt Barnes, and someone did the math wrong, and we couldn't get Matt Barnes because somebody basically ran the Excel spreadsheet and left out something. So this sort of thing does happen sometimes in the NBA.
No, it doesn't happen.
Oh, a name.
It's weird. I guess it is pretty.
Like, I thought it was Scott Brooks, not
I thought it was Scott Brooks.
Brooke Shields. Why isn't she on the team now?
Why isn't it Mel Brooks?
I thought it was the shoe company Brooks.
What's going on?
Like that's
so much
pretty,
confusion.
That's pretty
man.
bad in terms of. I mean, you're right.
Well-
so there's errors or trades get rescinded.
Yeah, but look at the teams who made the trade, and are you surprised
Yeah.
by the mistake though?
No.
They're a terrible organization.
Yeah, I guess Memphis. I'm not surprised by Phoenix.
No.
I'm not surprised by Washington. Memphis, maybe a little bit.
Well, let's dial it back. Look at that trade. Who wins in that trade?
Nobody.
Yeah, it's like it's not even a good trade for
I
like.
feel like everyone's just a bit, trying to shake
No,
things
it's
up.
too-
It's
or
not even
something.
like changing like the seats on the Titanic. It's like reupholstering the chairs. Like, who cares? You're both sinking ships. Why are you doing this? This makes no sense. Like, I think this was more of a spite move to Houston and the Lakers more than anything. I think
Right.
it was more just like, because they're lateral moves at best. I saw like some Arizona paper or
So you're
article.
you're talking about the trade that did
Either
end
or.
up going through,
Either
right?
or. They both
So
suck.
it's just to clarify. So it's Ariza.
Yeah.
And it's Ariza to Phoenix for Rivers.
No.
Sorry,
No,
it's
no,
it's
the
Ariza and Oubre.
Do you want me to do it?
Yes.
Trevor Ariza
I'm messing it up.
was traded from Phoenix to
Thank
the
you.
Washington Wizards. The Washington Wizards trade to Phoenix Kelly Oubre Jr.
in a
and
second round.
Austin Rivers.
See, this
Yeah, and a
is
second
why
round
I'm
pick,
happy I brought in the big leagues. You know what I mean?
But then they released Austin
Yes,
Rivers.
they waived Austin Rivers, so
Right.
now he's available to go join a different
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
And also of note, Kelly Oubre Jr. is a restricted free agent this season. So are you gonna, in a team that's laden with wings, add another one? So my whole point's like, what was the trade for? You know what I mean? Like
him and Justin Jackson are going to be a 1-2 punch.
yeah, and
That's
TJ
so-
Warren, 1-2-3 punch. It
Yeah,
doesn't make any sense.
with guys who are shoot terrible from the 3-point line.
I kind of get it from like a total desperation sense from Washington. They have a good experience with
Yes.
Ariza.
Yeah.
and that was a calming effect. And I understood
Yeah,
they
you
couldn't
know.
do anything with Kelly Oubre because the contract with $47
Exactly.
million or some crap like that for Wall. So
Oh yeah, Wall's contract's kind of untradeable. I mean, for the time being, and everybody would like Beal, but obviously Washington doesn't want to move off that.
Well, the problem with the trade is that, like, while it's kind of better for Washington, it doesn't make them better, and that's what this team needs to do.
Yeah.
like I mean, Ariza is like a better 3-point shooter than.
You don't think he'll help them at all? Ariza,
Well, I
like,
think
like
he'll help them, but
defensively and open
no, I think
threes
he's
or-
good, but I don't think that this team is going to be significantly. Oh, it doesn't like
Yeah,
move the needle
like it's
for
not going
them,
to push
right?
him to home court.
Yeah,
in the NBA, it's the worst position to be in is good. just medium good because
Yeah.
you get no picks, you get no playoff.
But they're
thing.
always with that backcourt they have. They're always going to be good.
But like so
Not good enough.
Yeah,
but not good. I don't, like, in the middle. Not enough where they can rebuild and not good
so
enough to be
why
in the
even
top.
make that move? That move puts you in a position to be in a worse opposition. If you want to get worse and lose and get a pick, that's probably your best bet. So why not trade your big assets and just start over again? Like
Because no one wants to pay John Wall like 40 million years.
Yeah.
2 years from now.
in life, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you have, like the leverage to negotiate. I 100% believe there is a team in this NBA that will do that money. I believe Dolan is dumb enough to do that. You don't think Dolan will do that?
But Dolan's rebuilding. He's smart. He's doing exactly
Is
what
he
said.
rebuilding? He's trying to sell that.
Yeah,
thing.
who is that desperate team? I mean, I'm
That's
looking
gonna take-
at
Phoenix would've
Phoenix
been.
or Sacramento,
No,
but
you don't
I
want
mean, they
Phoenix-
have guys. Not Phoenix, but Sacramento. They
If
they have
you-
Trey Young. Like they want to invest in that. You know.
But I'm saying if Phoenix was
Trey Young
like
plays in Atlanta, by the
Atlanta.
way.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm all over the place.
It's okay.
If you went to Phoenix and be like, here, we'll give you John Wall and give us just a whole bunch of just
But
random
don't
pieces.
forget, Phoenix wants to they're tanking. So why do you want like an all-star level point guard that's going to help them win
They're
games?
dumb enough to take him though, because you want to keep.
They're not. They're dumb enough to take Kelly Oubre. That's the problem.
It's like a different type of dumb. It's like I don't know if you're dumber, but this is another dumb move you've made
Yeah.
that I don't know is any better. Because I think with Wall, at least you could be like, hey, Phoenix or whoever lives in I don't know what the city is that they
Arizona.
Is it Phoenix?
Phoenix is the
Oh,
state.
okay, I thought Phoenix was the state. I'm sorry.
You guys are all impressing me today, man. I'm next. I got to.
What am I thinking? What's in my pocket? You didn't get it. You didn't get it. No, but if you go, like, hey, buddy,
Not a comedian joke?
Yeah.
No, I thought that was is that like a deep cut Lord of the Rings joke?
Yeah,
Because I remember there's a chapter where Frodo goes to Gollum and he's like, "What's in my pocket?" And Gollum just snaps. Or no, it's Bilbo.
A chapter.
Listen,
You read those books?
it's like everyone is backing away from the table.
it's funny because I said Frodo
Yeah,
and
he
not
said
Bilbo.
chapter. He didn't say
Yeah,
scene.
see,
He said
yeah,
chapter.
read those books.
I'm a chapter book guy. Okay.
That's a lot of reading.
That's bigger than the Bible.
Freddie, it's okay.
Oh,
Leaders
man.
are readers. Sorry. Oops.
You know what?
Leaders are readers. I love
Leaders are readers. I gotta hit up my local chapters Indigo.
that. Support your local library, guys. That's what's the one thing I want everyone to understand from this podcast. No, but if you go to Phoenix, be like, hey, you can sell these tickets because we got a big ticket John Wall here with Devin Booker. You can pretend this is the Splash Bros or whatever. You can just do something. I think it's better to have an exciting team now. You just move a shift or a superstar as opposed to just bringing in another wing who is not better than Trevor Ariza.
Yeah. Is okay.
Period.
But I think Ariza though, it was pretty clear he wasn't part of the long term plans. He signed
for
a
sure.
1 year,
But then
$15 million contract.
Why did they sign him then? What was the point?
Ding.
What was any of that?
I think
That's so
I think
stupid.
personally they signed him to trade him. Seriously, I feel like they
Trying to gobble him up. To take
just
something
to
better.
trade him for a pick, but Sarvar's kind of an idiot or something, or there's not a lot of forward planning in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Because maybe they thought, hey, the Lakers will want Ariza and they'll give up a pick or a young asset we actually like.
But they were willing to give up KCP, which is a better player than Kelly Oubre. So why wouldn't they do that? That doesn't make any sense.
okay.
Oh, you know why though? Because he plays same position as Devin Booker. I know what you're saying.
You know what? I'm just gonna
Just shift him off to the wing.
I'm gonna offer one counterpoint here,
Okay, I'm listening.
just for Phoenix's sake. What if they signed Ariza to hopefully get a young asset, and they view Oubre as that young asset, and they want because I'm sure he's unrestricted, right? Or is he unrestricted?
He's restricted, but
So
if
I'm
you
sure
want him-
they can match him. You know.
But you could have but then
Just
you
sign
could
him
have
in the
theoretically
offseason,
had Ariza for the year, and then he released him, and then the offseason,
Yeah.
you get the handsome Kelly Oubre.
I'm trying to make sense of.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Him and Devin Booker, most handsomest roster. Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're trying to sell these calendars.
Light skin.
The light skinnies. They're doing it. That was it. That's a pretty team. I'll be honest.
Thanks for backing me on that.
There you go. I'll prove there was a Black Twitter was making so many jokes about that. Like, how you gonna have a team get like Kelly Oubre on your team? How you gonna pass him the ball, man? Just losing into his eyes and shit like that. It's hilarious.
See, this is a non-Freddie conversation, but I'm still enjoying it. You know what I mean? I'm comfortable wading into a lot of conversations, but this one's for you too.
Join Black Twitter. It's amazing. It's so much fun. You'll have a good time. Maddie, you too.
Oh, Matt's already in there, man. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about kind of the overachieving and underachieving teams in the NBA. Sure. And I think it's kind of hard to rate this year because I don't know if the league's looking more homogenous because of the three, because of the space. You have some teams like Memphis, some teams like Indiana that are playing at a slower pace, but are still pretty effective. Spurs. But I'll start with you, Duane. Is there a team? Let's start with underrated. Is there a team that early on is getting a bit too much slack, and they're still a really good team, and they're gonna finish? Well,
I guess it's tough for underrated because, I mean, I look at a team like Memphis, who I think is going to get better as the season progresses. I think they're flirting around with the playoff spot right now. But you're right, because they don't play that kind of pace, that style of play. But you've got guys like Gasol and
Conley.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Conley.
Jaren Jackson Jr. looks good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Dylan Brooks has been up for a while. I like him in terms of what he brings. So I think they're going to kind of find their stride. And
Wait, Marshawn? I don't know which.
Marshawn is there too.
Yeah,
He's still there, exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know if they're like oh my God. I don't know if there's anyone who I feel like is super duper underrated right now. Because I'm like, I can't say the Rockets are underrated. They're just underperforming.
That's what I think too. But and people are a bit guarded with the Rockets. Like I'm not listening to anyone who's fully.
I think the Rockets
them.
are going to find it and play better, but I don't think. They're anywhere
Harden's
close to the
been
team
on
they were
fire
last year.
I think the Rockets are overrated, but we'll come back to that.
Oh, okay.
But I think underrated. I think you got to go to the Pacers. I don't think the Pacers are getting the right love that because they're beating some teams. They're kind of
That's a good one.
Yeah, they're struggling with some like under 500 teams, but like they're still out there playing. They're playing some good basketball.
I'm gonna say I don't think they're underrated because I think they're a good team and people know that. But I think when everyone talks about Eastern Conference,
they're not saying the Pacers.
Right. It's
Pacers
Toronto,
only have 10
Philly,
losses.
Boston. I know they're like on a 7-game win streak. They're playing great basketball. But I think you're right. The top three are so like fixated that no one's thinking about.
Yeah, and I think they beat Milwaukee twice.
Come on, man. He's passing right. He's got the laptop.
Yeah,
What's going on?
got the laptop.
They're playing great basketball. They won 7 games in a row.
And Oladipo's he's showing out. And Miles Turner
hurt.
Yeah, and Sabonis too.
Hold on, let me riddle me this.
Riddle me this. Oh, back to Lord of the Rings. Okay.
That's Batman,
Dude, every time. All right,
sorry.
A member of the Indiana Pacers was the Eastern Conference Player of the Week this week. Can you name that player? Who'd you think it would be?
I would have said Oladipo,
Thaddeus Young.
but it's not.
I didn't ask you the question.
I'm not looking at it.
It was Thaddeus Young.
Thaddeus Young. But you didn't say you.
I was gonna say Sabonis to be
right.
honest.
Exactly my point.
Were you going to get to that?
Why would
I
you
was
say,
not
why
gonna
would you say
Thaddeus.
Thaddeus Young?
It was going to Sabonis.
I saw it somewhere.
But that's not the point of it. I know the answer. Let me reckon. I know the answer.
No, I would have went Sabonis, Miles Turner, and then Collison, and maybe Thaddeus Young.
Corey Joe?
So the point is that you have a team that's got a lot of different parts that are playing well. And,
And I don't think any team in the Eastern Conference would not want to face them in the first round. I think they're a scary team. They're one of those teams that are like too dumb to understand that they're not like the greatest.
Yeah.
And they'll smack you in the mouth and take you to 7 games.
And we've seen Oladipo in a playoff series. He's
Yeah.
amazing.
we've seen the Pacers in the playoffs.
Yeah,
They're
for
good.
sure.
Consistently. That's a hard place to win in. Is it Fieldhouse?
No, Banker's Life.
Bankers Life.
Banker's Life, yeah. Was it? Used to be
Used to be
Conseco?
Conseco.
Conseco
Yeah.
Field, yeah.
I was going to actually say Detroit, just because I think they're playing smart. I feel like their roster just lacks talent. So teams are like writing them off in general, people are writing them off. But I feel like they're going to make the playoffs. And maybe it's just the Detroit Raptors game. But I feel like Blake is one of these guys that has such a huge contract that the NBA is kind of out on. But watching that guy game to game, like he's still really valuable. Like I feel like Kawhi even struggled a little bit with Blake.
I'm not buying Detroit. I am buying Blake. I think like he's a phenomenal player, and I think that Casey's using him as a facilitator too. So he's like setting up his teammates. I just don't think he has enough teammates to set up on that ball club. It's got to be like all him, and that's why.
And Reggie Jackson needs to be there every game.
You know what I'm saying?
He needs to drop 17.
I have Reggie Jackson on fantasy, and man, like he can put us some counting stats, but his percentages are just heinous.
Yeah. You gotta go 30 for 30. You know what I'm saying?
30 for 30.
Yeah, you gotta put up 30 to try to get there.
Yeah. Let's do some overrated. So I'll jump over to you, Alan. Is it Houston for you?
I was gonna say Boston, but I think also Houston's kind of like falling on. I know Boston's kind of like they're cooking now.
They're starting to come together.
But there is so much slack and lenience as far as Boston's failures. Like defensively, they're not the same team, and no one wants to talk about the fact that you added too many cooks to the kitchen, and now people are losing touches. People are like, I'm only going to get 4 touches this game. I'm not going to swing this ball as freely as before. And yet players like Jaylen Brown and Rozier, and it's showing. It's showing. And also Tatum. I think Tatum's still, like, in his second year, I think this is a straight up hindrance to keep giving those minutes to what's his name? Beautiful haircut. Hayward. There you go. Gordon Hayward out there.
Beautiful haircut.
It's always neat.
You did say Hayward right away.
Yeah, well,
right away.
I don't have hair, so I can appreciate it.
Right. We look at hair, we're like, beautiful. That lion, amazing.
I'd love to have that cut.
But yeah, I think Houston and Boston. Not to say that these teams aren't necessarily good. I just think that as a culture in the NBA, we give them so many opportunities for failure, and we're like, oh, they'll get it. Don't worry. But I'm like, Boston is arguably a worse team. Can we not agree to that? But no one wants to say that. And I think you've given away your backbone when it came to Houston. I don't think Houston has the space or defensive rating as like Luke, Richard Marbute, and also Trevor Ariza.
He was valuable.
Those are huge pieces. Now you had nobody playing that defensive end. You have what's his name, James Ennis, the third.
Well, they still have Tucker, but they're overplaying him now.
Yeah. And he's you could see him. He's overexerted on both ends. He's got to shoot how many more threes and cover like the best player on the other side. It's a lot. And yeah, I think the NBA needs to just be honest with themselves and saying, hey, I understand we like talking about these teams, but don't talk about them right now. They're
Boston media, man.
Yeah.
But both
you
those
know
teams
me.
have stars, so it's hard to not talk about Chris Paul.
Raptors got stars. Why do we only get talked about when we beat the Warriors?
People love Kyrie, though.
They
love Kyrie.
Kyle Lowry. They
I don't
rate
like Kyrie.
I feel you.
Did you see Uncle Drew?
No.
I want my money back. I didn't see it. Why would I ever see it? Why would I ever see it?
I want my money
I didn't see it, but I want my money back. You know what I'm saying?
I want to speak to your manager.
Principle.
It's out of Prince, exactly.
What are you doing?
I want a cut of that minute.
Dude, it's a Pepsi commercial and it turned into a movie. Like it's not even like it's like
This is peak 2018 though. That's what this is though. Pepsi presents
Who's your overrated
might be
team?
an unpopular opinion, but the Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I like
I would love for that to be true.
Listen,
Are you like not so high in Middleton or?
no, Middleton's dope. I love Middleton.
Yeah.
But this team, all right, Budenholzer got them in shooting three ball, splash mountain. It's the whole nine. Everyone's doing it. Leading the league in 3-point attempts. And I think they're like 12th in percentage, whatever. Last year, they were like in the bottom third in attempts. This isn't sustainable. They can't keep shooting the ball and hitting. I mean, they've been shooting the ball well, but you can't keep that up for a whole season. This is who they are. Like the personnel, I mean, Middleton can shoot. Bledsoe's not a great shooter. You're getting some stuff from Brogdon and other guys, but I don't think they can keep shooting this free ball at that level. And I think, Giannis is probably the MVP. I mean, like he's
my MVP right now. For me, it's him or LeBron, but it's him.
LeBron?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah,
it's a weird
sorry,
mix.
LeBron is always in the conversation. You're right. My bad.
Yeah,
But I think-
but it is. I am Giannis right now.
But Giannis, there's no narrative. I think it's always stats, season record, and narrative, and he's got no narrative.
Agreed.
So I think LeBron has the most narrative. I think they're going to be like 16th season, 27 points per game. Give it to him. Went to LA.
But if Giannis wins the East or finishes in second place, that's a
If they ever
narrative.
do
I don't think
it.
that's enough. I don't think it's enough for people to write a blog about, and they're not going to like push him hard.
But going back to even what you said about Boston and Houston, how everyone's like giving them the patience, whatever, because by the end of the season they're going to be in a position where they can carry themselves in the playoffs. I don't think Milwaukee is going to be that team in the playoffs. I don't know. That's just my.
I do feel like Milwaukee has some like secondary creator issues. So like
Fair.
when Giannis gets targeted in the playoffs, he's still going to be hyper effective. Of
course.
But I was even
And
noticing
this all too. Sorry, go on.
Oh, I was going to say I was even noticing in the Milwaukee game, Nurse wasn't playing Kawhi on Giannis that much. He was playing Kawhi on Middleton. But I also feel like that's not what would happen in the playoffs. Like Nurse isn't showing all his cards. He would play Kawhi a lot on Giannis in the playoffs. I feel.
Well,
like.
I agree with you, but at the same time, Pascal's not a bad matchup for him either.
Yeah, I think the Raptors just have so much wing depth that way they can
they're
kind
healthy,
of like
it's great,
Yeah.
Yeah, everything you said about Milwaukee is everything I've thought, but I just didn't vocalize because I'm afraid to.
It's okay. I got you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So with that
because
note-
I'm
There's a lot of camaraderie.
Because I'm watching them, I'm just like, I don't think that's gonna be good. But you know what? That's amazing basketball. That's just so good. Oh my goodness, reinventing yourself, Brooke Lopez. That's so amazing.
No, for sure.
And yeah, Chris Middleton's shooting out the lights right now, and once again, that's not sustainable. But yeah, I think in the playoff times, I think Milwaukee has shown themselves each and every year that they're not a force. But at the same time, Mike Budenholzer, I'm a little afraid of him. I don't know if his doctrine is that solid, if that's an actual Bible you can read and make a religion on. If it is, that's kind of scary.
And his playoff success is not great either.
I know LeBron, but who took him out though? LeBron. LeBron broke him.
but- Yeah.
LeBron ain't here no more.
Although he's fascinating to me because this is Budenholzer's first time having a superstar. Because he had that Atlanta team, which is
You're
like,
saying Jeff Teague is not a superstar?
Kyle Korver's a superstar.
Yeah.
Damari-
Oh yeah.
Damari
all right.
DeMarre Carroll deserves
Carroll?
$16 million.
You're right though.
I mean, I guess maybe Horford was like a low key kind of. I mean, I think Horford's underrated in general, but like,
Look, he's
he's
the
never
best
really been a
worst man
superstar
or
to
the
me.
worst best good man. I don't know. He's in that weird area.
My team, and I picked this team to not make the playoffs, and I feel like it's a correct pick. Is the Pelicans? I feel like Davis is just so overwhelmingly good, and they caught the Blazers by surprise last year, and also everyone forgot about Drew, who's amazing, but the team doesn't have anything else. Like Mirotic is okay. Then after that, you're
Randall's
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, Randall. Yeah,
he's balling up. He's
But you got
man.
Solomon Hill and
Etuan Moore is actually shooting. well,
Etuan Moore shooting really well. But I feel like that's a team to me that could have used Ariza or like another guy to kind of be like just handle the ball a little bit and shoot well, play good defense. And in the West, I mean, unless Davis doesn't miss another game, I don't see how this team kind of puts it together.
Yeah,
personally,
that's fair. They're one of those
That's
teams
why I
that
think they're overrated.
If they make it to the finals, if they make it to the playoffs, you don't want to play them. I think that's something.
Yeah.
But through the year, are they going to have enough wins to even make the playoffs? That's where their problem lies.
Yeah, I think like you look at the team last year, and I mean, I think they missed Rondo because in the playoffs,
Oh, for sure they
were
missed
a
Rondo.
solid team,
Yeah,
whatever,
playoff
right?
Rondo.
I think Drew Holiday is really good, but in the backcourt, he's not. He's got to do defensively so much. He's got to score.
Yeah.
I think they needed Alfred Payton was that guy who was being decent.
He's
but
been injured a lot.
Yeah,
right?
but he's not Rondo. And I think I'm going to say something might be controversial, but is AD overrated?
Ooh,
Because
that's an
for what we
interesting
talk about AD, like he is phenomenal talent. He's great skilled. He can score. He can defend. He can stretch the floor. He can dribble. But he's not a guy who's making this team better.
Yeah.
Like he's been in the Pelicans for a while. He's not like you look at a guy, and I mean, LeBron is the greatest, so he's different. But in terms of you see LeBron in Cleveland early days, he would take these scrubs and make them good.
So he's going to pass Jabbar. Exactly.
That's Matt trying to troll me.
Oh, right.
On that's me.
Wow, it was mad noisy. I barely picked it out. Wow. That's him on the lineup.
Oh, the lineup?
That's me on Duane's show.
You talk about LeBron, I gotta play the stick.
Thanks, Matt. It makes me feel really good.
Anyways, what do you guys think? Am I talking crazy?
No.
I think Antonio Davis is an exceptional
Antonio
talent.
Davis or Anthony Davis?
I keep
okay.
always.
Listen.
I want to say Antonio
You're
Davis.
just mad Antonio Davis. He didn't want his kids going to school in Canada.
I know, and that
pisses
bothered
you
me.
off.
What's wrong with my education, Antonio Davis, huh? I can read and write, both not at the same time. No one can. That's hard. But Anthony Davis, I think he's an amazing talent. I think he's really good, but I don't think he makes his players around him better. I think when he's on the court, you have to avoid him. But if you avoid him, you could still win the game. I don't think he's necessarily making life easier defensively, obviously, but offensively, I don't think he's making it easier for Drew Holiday. I don't think he's facilitating guys the way LeBron does. And I think he and not to get ahead of everything, I think he knows that, and I think that's the Rich Paul move. I think that's the next season. $39 million the Lakers have, and
Right.
in cap space or whatever. I think LeBron says, "Hey, buddy, here's the keys. Take the car. I'll just sit back here and do whatever."
Which is fine, and that kind of plays into it. I mean, it's tough because it's so wrong that you have to be like LeBron level, like a superstar.
Yeah.
But I think like there's nothing wrong with being like Chris Middleton or like the solid second star in that.
For sure.
But I think we talk with the media a lot. Everyone talks about how AD is so great. AD is like this player, this generational player and stuff. And he's a great talent. I don't think he's a player that's gonna like even like a guy like Steph Curry, who of course is a generational player. But like when he's on the floor, your whole team has to worry about what he does.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
I'm not, you know what I mean?
I have like a theory that I don't know if I can back up with any real significant numbers.
Those are the best
Help me
theories.
out.
I love those theories.
No, but I feel like when the going gets tough.
That's not a theory, that's expression.
Oh shit! Okay. No, like that extra superstar gear. The guy has to be able to go like after a score. He has to be able to grab the ball and he and just rely on himself. Like he can't wait for someone to pass to him. And I feel like when you're full on taking over a game, maybe in a different NBA, like an older time, like with Shaq or whatever, but Davis needs to be able to do what Durant does or what LeBron does, or I mean, I guess Kawhi doesn't do it that much, but when the going gets super tough, you need to be able to just like eliminate everyone else and the game is about you and is about the other team stopping you.
Will your team to victory?
But I see, here's the thing. I think Antonio.
I think Antonio Davis.
AD. That's going to be so much easier. AD has that. I think he's shown
Shelbyville,
that.
Sean Bradley.
Yeah, Shelbyville, Sean Bradley, as we all know his nickname.
I lost confidence as soon as I said Shelbyville.
But you finished it. You stuck the landing, and I appreciate that. Check the scores on the judges. You made it, baby. You got the silver.
The Russian judge was happy.
I'm feeling a lot of support. Okay? I appreciate it.
I think he has that. I think he has that gear. My thing is, I don't think he has 48 minutes of that. I don't think he has that. Oh, this game has distinct flavors of AD. I think he goes, oh, if it's close and it's like 5-point game,
got you. Yeah.
I want AD on the court.
Yes.
I think that's the type of dude he can do that. But I think, hey, this game is kind of whatever. Can you blow away with it? Can you take this over in the second? Can you take this away in the third when you come right after the break? I don't think he has that gear.
Good point.
You know, and I think I think with him and DeMarcus, I think he just needs to play off one other player. I think he's just missing.
DeMarcus doesn't play there anymore.
When they were
Oh, my bad.
when they were there.
I'm like the corrector. I'm like,
I know where DeMarcus Cousins is. Don't worry. I have a voodoo doll with his name on it and a Warriors jersey. I've been poking his ankle every night. When you see what happened to Steph? That was me, baby. Right?
Are you guys part of the? Well, I'll ask you this first. Are you part of the Cousins is going to eventually make Golden State worse camp?
Yeah, I'm waiting for that.
I am too, but I feel like I'm being too hopeful.
You're being too hopeful. You know why? Because
he is talented as hell, right? He's good.
Like, I think this is the year that we've recognized that they don't have that extra help at all. They have no swaggy P. They got nothing else. No. Just to consistently keep the threes going.
You don't like Jonas Jerebko and Alfonso McKinney?
Those slow ass threes from Jonas Jerebko, and it's real. Oh, I got blocked.
You're not a Cook fan?
Quick Cook. He's been shooting pretty well.
Yeah,
but
he
it's
actually
just like
good, yeah.
it's just him. And I think that's what happens when you give everyone $50 million and then you have to sign a bunch of guys for peanuts.
I'm talking about DeMarcus first. DeMarcus has never been on a team with talent, a winning team that's won championships and talent like the Warriors have. He's going to fall into line because A, these guys have done it, and B, he's in a contract year. He's just trying to look good enough and not cause enough trouble so people can see he's healthy and get money next year. So he's not going to start wowing out or going DeMarcus because there's too many voices of stability in the locker room saying, listen, you're here. We're just helping you get a ring, dude. Like, just listen to us, do what you need to do, and play your game.
Listen, I defend DeMarcus Cousins all the time. I'm always just like, don't talk to Marcus. He didn't deserve that, whatever. And you know what he always does to me? He proves me wrong over and over and over again.
DeMarcus, go DeMarcus.
Exactly. So I'm just like, yo, DeMarcus going to be DeMarcus this year. And also, there's so much disruption in that locker room already.
You feel so? Already. The whole,
already. Draymond Green is like, Draymond's like, this can't sustain. So somebody's gone next year.
KD's gone.
There's already some type of problems already there. So I'm like, if DeMarcus just gets a hint of what is that? Just a chaos? A little bit of chaos?
But is Draymond playing?
He's high on chaos.
Chaos? That's some chaos you got going on. That's some strong shit.
Is that Joel Lacob? Hi, Joel.
But is Draymond playing 4D chess by trying to get KD riled up to expedite his leaving so he can get that money? Because there's only so much cap space, right?
Ooh, I like that theory.
That is 4D chess.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean?
So, my thing with Boogie making them worse eventually is that I feel like the injury's just too much. Like, he's going to come back and he's not going to be game shape. And then he's going to come back and everyone's like, okay, he's fine now, he's game shape, and he's playing at like 60% Cousins. Then they're going to be like, oh no, okay, playoffs are coming. Can we get this guy to 80% before the playoffs happen?
But they're not going to rush him because they don't need him. They don't need him right now.
Yeah, but
I guess it depends on how Golden State handles him. Like, if you're not adding, and
do you think he's coming off the bench though?
I mean, yeah, but I think at a point he might end up starting.
I think he's gonna. Yeah, and then he starts starting, and then you don't have that active big man that runs around the court as much as like Kevon Looney and what's his name, the guy.
Listen, man, I think you forgot who this team is. The coach they have. This team has been 3-4 championships in a row.
They're pretty experienced.
They've been bleeding this year. This is the first time I've seen them bleed.
It's a regular season.
I understand that.
And I mean, and the problem is you're right. We've been spoiled because they always play at a high level all season.
They do.
But it's like this is a team that can turn on the playoffs.
And they're definitely gassed from being in the finals 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
And Iguodala's a year older.
Yeah, and he's not. He's might as well. I might be wearing his jersey for some games. You guys may not have noticed that. I did. I played a couple games. You didn't even notice.
Oh my!
Exactly.
5 points, 2 rebounds.
Exactly.
That was you.
0 for 7. That was me.
0 for 7.
I saw you inbound that ball real nice.
Yeah, right.
Super funky layup. Okay.
Yeah, right.